What's up guys, it's Jacob Randall Holmes, and I hope you're having a truly fantastic day. Today I'm reviewing a new lens for the Sony E-mount system. It is an insta-buy for anybody that's bought a Sony camera in the last couple of years, and it's probably the best valued bang for buck lens on the market right now. This is the Viltrox 20mm f2.8 lens. In fact, I'm using it right now on the Sony ZV-E1 in automatic mode in 4K. How does it look? Are the colors nice? Is my face in focus? Am I overexposed? Am I underexposed? How's it handling the water behind me? How's it handling the tree line behind me? How's it handling the open ocean? You tell me. Does it look good? Tell me. Based on all the testing that I've done with this camera over the last few weeks, this lens is an insta-buy for anybody that has a Sony E-mount camera. This is the new 50mm f1.8. This is the lens you should have when you buy your camera. This blows everything else out of the water. I mean, yeah, you're not gonna take this on the beach, you're not gonna take it in nasty conditions, but this is the #1 budget lens for Sony E-mount by far.
6.5 hours later.
Regular price. With the student discount, this guy is only $19.50. This is the Sony ZV-E1. It has the same sensor as the A7S III and the Sony FX3. Now, here's the real kicker. This is a Viltrox lens. It's my newest lens. And you know that my lenses are pretty nice. How much do you think this lens costs? Look at yourself.
Oh, the lens.
How much do you think this lens costs? Because lenses are expensive.
Wait, how much was the lens that you were using before?
So, the wide angle lens that you and I used when we were in Times Square, that lens that's like a $1,400 lens. And then my other lens that I used on that trip, the one that I shoot weddings with, my 50mm, that's like a $1,900 lens. The wide angle one that I shot with by Rockefeller, $3,000.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
So what do you think this guy, take a look at that quality, look at the lighting conditions. How much do you think this lens costs?
Like 1,200?
Is that your final answer?
I guess so.
Okay.
Oh. Damn, bro.
$150 lens. And we are in the dark.
Very dark.
The Sony is just using its total manual, this is auto right now. $150. Do you think that's worth it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's keep testing it. So one of the things that I look for when I'm looking for a new lens is what is the #1 use case I can use it for? And this one is the perfect type of lens for I want to vlog or I want to shoot and I want to not think about what I'm shooting. The gap that this lens fills so well is the fact that this is the lens that can basically do everything you need in a run and gun, grab and go, travel scenario, driving scenario, and I don't really want to think about the camera scenario. That's where the Viltrox 20mm f2.8 lens really shines. It's perfect for this kind of thing, which is why when you're on a travel destination like what we got right now, this is a golden lens. I mean, look at where we're at. Perfection for this kind of thing. So I've been testing this camera out for the last couple of months. I've shot 3 weddings with it, but this lens, this is the maiden voyage of this lens. And I tried it yesterday on my trip to Key Largo for some casual shooting. And I've got to say, for a $150 lens, I'm blown away at what this thing can do with composure and image composition in crazy different lighting scenarios. I mean, literally, look at where we are right now. It's dark and it's, I swear, I feel like I'm shooting with a Canon, even though, let's be real, Sony's the better brand now. Recently, I took this camera to Las Vegas on a photo shoot, and it was fantastic for that, but I didn't have this lens yet. And really, a lens of this form factor is the kind of lens that you're never gonna not take with you, because compared to my Sony G Master glass, this lens doesn't even feel like it's on the camera. I feel like I'm just really holding the camera body. I love my Sony G Master 24mm f1.4. It is one of my most favorite lenses, but you definitely feel it when you're holding it up. And this guy, I could literally hold this at vlog level for as long as I possibly could. Also, the Biltmore Hotel behind us, how beautiful is that? I mean, you can't possibly go wrong. Have I influenced you into buying this yet?
Oh, I could definitely do that.
Okay, what about the camera? How about the Sony ZV-E1?
I have to think about it.
Really?
Yeah.
But look at that. Like, look at this. This is in auto mode. This is straight out of camera.
You don't have to do anything.
No, that's our image. Tell me another camera that looks better than that sub $3,000. You can't. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Sony, baby. The close focusing distance is actually great. You can get right up on this camera and it's fully in focus. It doesn't have any trouble with lens hunting. Lens breathing isn't an issue. And speaking of extreme conditions,
Wanna go back in time when everything seems so clear and when the problems we carried weren't even problems at all. Just don't get enough from me.
what I truly believe about this camera lens, after reviewing it in Key Largo yesterday, after reviewing it with Yilong last night, and after doing my test that I've done here in Miami, this is the type of lens that should just ship with all Sony cameras. This is the perfect kit lens because it has a legit aperture, and it $175, $180 at full price with tax. This is a no-brainer. Like, I don't know why you would want any other Sony lens. The only like lens below $1,000 that's even close to this is the Sony 24-105, but it's a completely different type of lens. Currently we're on the auto mode in the ZV-E1, and just look at me, like, you have good facial color, you have good depth of field, it's able to put separation between myself and the background, colors are good, colors are punchy. Now, like all cameras, this lens does have its downsides. They're not huge considering you're talking a price that makes this thing cheaper than a Nintendo Switch Lite, but they are drawbacks. Now, the build quality of this lens is not terrible, it's not even the worst I've seen, but it's definitely not going to feel like the G Master lenses that I'm used to, or even some of the Sony cheaper lenses like that 85 1.8 prime, or even the 20mm f1.8. This does feel cheaper. But when you're talking a sub $200 budget, I feel like you can't really make that complaint. This is definitely going to be one of those lenses you absolutely do not want to get wet, because if you get this lens wet, it's going to start malfunctioning, and I'm assuming, like, my biggest fear with this lens is probably when, like, you get into, like, those really crazy climate conditions, like, it's like 85, 90 degrees outside, you walk outside, or you walk from a air-conditioned building out into that, I bet you're gonna get some lens fog on this guy, and I'm sure if you get lens fog on this lens, the drying and just the lens fog going away isn't gonna be as well controlled as a more premium or more expensive lens, but again, at this price point, what do you want? I mean, this lens is less than half of the price of the Sony ZV-1F at full price. And I mean, it's tiny. You will feel this lens auto-focusing a little bit more, like you'll feel it moving around, you'll feel like that little like kind of thing, like you would have with older Canon lenses or DSLR lenses that you're adapting to mirrorless, but it's not a deal breaker. But for me personally, this lens, this is just kind of the point and shoot lens. This is the lens that I'm gonna have in my backpack on this camera for when I'm in a concert, when I'm driving, when I'm at an event that I just wanna pull out really fast. This is the camera that's gonna be in the small bag with my Fuji X100V. Like, this is perfect for that kind of thing. Also, can we just talk about how good the autofocus on this non-Sony budget lens? Like, the eye tracking has got me every time. I'm anxious to see if it keeps my head in focus the whole time, but it's got me. Even in these changing lights, it still has me. We're gonna walk out into some really aggressive lighting and see how it does. Also, I just wanna say, we've tested this lens in low light conditions and out in the Florida sun, and I'm really truly kind of blown away. Like, this is kind of killing the iPhone in a lot of conditions. Now, this isn't something that I can hack the lens for, but I will say the Sony ZV-E1's auto mode, it doesn't do as great in like bright sunny conditions as it does in the lower nasty conditions. And I guess that's fine, but I mean, it still looks good. Everything's probably in color, everything's still in focus, there's no noise, the image isn't falling apart. I mean, it's also doing a pretty decent job of keeping things underexposed. The sky's blue, it's not blown out. Now we're walking in direct sunlight, my face looks pretty white, but you know, it's doing okay. It's giving you the window that Sony cameras do. Like, Sony cameras are the window into reality.
Day 3.
The fact that a $175 lens can produce this type of quality in auto mode completely blows anything that Sony puts out under the $500 mark completely out of the water. This is a must-have lens if you are a Sony user. Anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed this video and found value in it, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel so much. And remember, new videos almost weekly, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Bye.
I can get it off.